All right. So we left off in part 1 where we had done some repairs. We recapped everything and we got it working. But just as I suspected, after we left it overnight, the TV was no longer able to tune in a picture. And we just had static. And when we did get somewhat of a picture a couple times, cutting in and out, we were having to tune way over here where we should have been way over here. So in this part, we're going to try to finish it up, fix it for good, reassemble it, and be done. Now, by the way, Sir Clive Sinclair himself. And we've got all the manuals, instructions, warranty cards, some envelope in there, a bag for storing your power supply. Our screws we're not going to use. This is a auxiliary power supply where you put D's in it. D batteries or metal enclosure. This is a European charger, 220 volt. This is a USA charger. And this is a cigarette lighter power adapter. All right, let's get started. It's just decided to quit working again. So we're gonna remove this plate and start working on the tuner board. I've had this cap go bad and cause it to not tune in. I've also tested UHF and it's got the same problem. And I think portions of the UHF circuit go through the VHF part. So for band switching between UHF and VHF, I think. So I'm suspicious if it's the pin diodes, but you never know with these things. Could be anything. So next we have to desolder the tabs that hold this can in place so we can get to all of the components in there in the VHF circuit. Can the can be removed? back up. And it just flickered into tune for a second and back out. So I'm just gonna blast some areas here with some freeze spray. See if that changes anything. No, but I've had that do change things. Whoa, dang. Blasted the nozzle right off of here. All right, so still not a... Oh, wait. Boom. Whoa.
And certainly looked familiar, but any doubt, he left a copy of his ID.
Yeah.
Mark Porter. Okay, Mark.
It's...
That's a real license. This is the real guy. That's him.
Scrambly, but we don't have an antenna on here, but I'm right at channel 7.
Also had an interest in the coin business. The best explanation for that was
Let's plug a... stick a wire on here for the antenna.
Just a coincidence that they happened to be sold the day after the Terrells were killed. Still, for police, the friend,
Okay.
executive, retired school superintendent, and by all appearances a pillar of
There we go.
was now the prime suspect.
So look at that.
He's off in some
Working
way.
perfect.
I don't know. He could be a psychopath or something. I said, it scares me.
Use that word.
Now I'm on UHF. Here's how I do that. I have a UHF RF modulator here connected to the UHF antenna. Then I'm feeding my video signal, composite video and audio in here, and then like that. So after hitting the board with freeze spray, it made UHF and VHF start working. So now I think I might see it's drifting again though. See, it doesn't stay locked in. Now if I push this, it'll switch to, now we're on VHF. We should have to tune over here by the, right about here. That's channel 7, VHF. So I might pull this board off and then run jumpers so we could lay the board flat and see if we can figure out exactly what component is being faulty. So I've ran jumpers now,
To Patty Roth, Lee's close friend.
so we can
The minute she was born.
tune the picture in. So then now I can touch each component with the tip of my soldering iron and also freeze spray. But what I've already noticed, I hit this pin diode with the freeze spray and it went to static and came back. I powered down for a few minutes while I prepped my cabling here, and I've marked them with a white dot so I can disconnect them and reconnect them quickly. But while I was powered down, and now I'm going to turn it on from my over on the bench supply side so I don't have to touch anything. And it's out of tune. It's scrambled. It's almost tuned in. It's almost there. But it has drifted out of tune a little bit. So I'm going to try a little test here and hit each one of these once. and see if it changes anything. No. 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 Whoa. So it's, the sound came in, but the picture is still blank. Here comes the picture. So that was a pin diode. Okay, now it's perfect. Perfect picture. I never touched the dial, so. Looking like the pin diodes. So I'm going to let it sit even longer, and then we'll come back to it again and see. All right, let's check it out. Power on. 160 millionths.
Jump the border to see if James would chase me.
He did not. But where was
Okay, so it's almost in tune right now, but now I'm going to hit that pin.
Investigators tried to track her husband's
Boom.
You're sitting in Homeland
Perfect.
Security's office, and you're listening to them ping him across the state.
When I freeze this pin diode, when it's snowy, the picture comes right in immediately. It's warmed up now, so it's just working. But I'm going to swap that out now. Get it out of the way. That's all of them. That's all of the 3404 pin diodes. Now let's clean the board a little bit here. So you can shine these through to see where the pins are. Okay, we have 4 new ones. So when we test this, none of these were showing an IR value, which is, that's what we care about. That's reverse leakage amount. So they weren't even showing, so that's not sounding very good, because if it's high, it means it's leaky. It's the reverse leakage current. And the C rating is the capacitance. And those are all about 8 to 10. So now here's the new ones. I'm going to test the new ones now. Oh, that's 13. Okay, there's our new diodes, pin diodes. I'll put those in and we'll see what happens. Okay, I think we're good. I'll reassemble and we'll test it. Okay, reassembled, everything looks right. Powering up. Static. Oh, but wait a minute. Where's our antenna? Oh no. But I think we still have the same problem we had. Oh, maybe not. Came right up. No picture though, but that's just because we're there. There's our picture. So now, yeah, we're a little more to the left now.
Step.state.gov. Travel advice you can trust.
Uh-oh. Okay, now it just went out. Like, just decided to go out. So we've still got an issue. what I was going to say, though, is I don't want to change everything all at once because I won't know what fixed anything. So now that we've replaced those, it just switched out to snow. It's jumping back and forth. So now I'm going to see what happens if I do. Yeah, it's just flickering it in and out.
But nothing new turned up.
I believe that the chances of success
No, it's not doing it.
probably very slim at that point.
It's flickering in and out like a bad connection.
We would never be able to locate them.
What am I doing there?
About the only thing that changed were the images
Oh, look
on
at
the missing
that.
persons posters.
That's what it was doing.
Harris observed. The computer
So
simulated
actually,
he barely recognized.
that's interesting. I'm
He'd stopped filming
just bending this
so long ago.
cap. I'm going to replace that. Yeah, look at that. If I put any pressure on this. I've had one of these cause this problem before. I guess it's shorting. I'm going to remove this right now. See what happens. All right, so now that it's removed, let's see what happens with it removed. And so, because I think it's shorting. No, now we're dead in the water. Very interesting. Okay. So now it's not tuning into anything. Okay, so that's a 1 in F. No, 100 in F. All right. So that's a 104. 100 in F. All right, let's see how it goes now. I don't trust these. They always, I've had several of them go bad on me. All right. Came right up. Okay, there we go. So far, so good. It's a little scrambly, but I think it's just a tuner. I mean, I think it's just this antenna. I hope. Okay, it's perfect. Perfecto. So I'm going to let it sit, powered off. We'll let it sit powered down for a while and then see if it comes right up or not. I got the batteries in today, the proper kind, with the pre-soldered tabs and flat surface. Okay, I'll come back after several hours and we'll power up. So now that it's sat, let's see what happens. My guess is it's going to be a snowy picture. They all tend to do that. It almost seems like it depends on the weather, but you'll power one on. Like this one's been sitting for over a day. Let's see what it does. See it snow, and then it came in.
And it would go back
Sometimes that'll take a while. Like I have another one that takes almost a minute after replacing components. So I don't know that I haven't solved that mystery yet, but let's see what this one does now after sitting overnight. Snowy picture. Oh, but came in quick. Here it comes.
His name was Carl Barton Jr.
There, that's good.
Him as JR. He was a firefighter.
So, we may have solved it, but I'm going to, now that it's in good working shape, I'm pretty sure it was those pin diodes. And then this was just not helping. This was causing it to cut in and out intermittently, the cap. Okay, here's where we are at this point. We've recapped all of the boards. 6 electrolytics on the deflection board. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 caps on the deflection board. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the sound board. 1, 2, 3. 4 on the IF decoder board, and 1 on the tuner board. And that was that tricky one where we cut the lead and tacked on there on the negative side, and then ran the positive lead from the cap to the board where that red tubing is. So that was a clean little cap swap. Okay, so that was the electrolytics we replaced. Then we had a faulty tuner that was coming up snow when we would power up after it sat. And then we found that if we hit this pin diode, it would snap it right into tune. So then I replaced all 4 pin diodes, 5 pin diodes. That would be that one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm going to leave the Varicaps in and the transistors because I've decided to only replace what was necessary to do the repair. So after we replaced the pin diodes, it worked better, but it kept on cutting in and out of tune. And that is when I discovered that when I touched that rectangular 100 NF cap, when I would push on it this way, it would cut out. So it could have been a bad solder connection, but I don't recall seeing a cold solder joint. So, and I've had that cap fail before. So I think that we had 2 faults, this cap and that pin diode. And then we also, in the beginning, we had a faulty open cap on the IF board. So there was 3 problems. So next, I'm going to we're gonna do the battery pack. So that's gonna be 2 single cells here from there to there. 1 cell will go there. 1 cell will go from here to there. And then we gotta stack 2 of them on top of each other and wire them in series to make a total of 3 volts, and that will end up going there and there for a total of 6 volts. And then we will clean it up in there. There's some pretty janky, gross grease on those pots. So we'll clean that up a little. And then we will slide the cover back on here and adjust the picture. So we'll shift it if needed to the left and right and up and down and size it. Rotate the picture tube if needed. Get it nice and straight. And then we will do the final assembly. It should be fixed. We'll have to put this metal can back on. And the copper shield on the back. I looked at the schematics just out of curiosity to figure out what this is. And so this cap is connected to the second pin, the blue wire, which is the AFC, auto frequency control, over to the IF board, and this pin goes to pin 4 of the custom chip, the unobtainable custom chip. So it does have something to do with the frequency control, and we know that this is required. If you cannot remove it. I did replace the 68 PF here because that has caused problems before. So while I was troubleshooting it, I ruled that out. But then I put the original one back in because it tested okay. And I wanted to see if anything screwed up with that back end just to prove that that is not an issue. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave the original back in there. So like I said, so we're only replacing what was required to get this working. If it screws up again in the future, we can always troubleshoot the next fault and replace whatever components there are that are causing it. But so far, so good. Another thing to check when you work on these are all the solder connections on the bottom here to the switches, because they're being pushed and stuff, and they can become cold solder joints and make it act funky. So I'm going to check that too. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So next up, we'll wire up these batteries and solder them onto the board and test the charging circuit and battery power. All right, we're going to clean this back plate. Get all that gross looking sludgy grease off of there. And then we'll put a dab of deoxit on them. contact cleaner. Yeah, now that we got this back on normally, we can check that needle, tuning needle positioning. See if it's still where it should be. Okay, came right into tune. What I have going on here, by the way, is I've got as far as my channels are concerned, I have a Roku connected to an RF modulator, and then that goes into a blonder tongue amplifier. Those are usually would be used in hotels and things. It just takes an RF signal in or video signal in, and then outputs it at whatever channel you want to set it at. So I have it set to channel 7, and then it shoots it out at a amplified signal. They would use them on, they'd have racks of those in hotels and things to give the TV, to have television inside of all the rooms and be able to control whatever they want to broadcast. You can get them pretty cheap nowadays because they're because we're no longer using analog VHF anymore, so they're not sought after or anything, so they're pretty cheap. And so that gives me basically several hundred feet, a few hundred feet of range to broadcast whatever I want, and then I can Roku has an app for your phone, so you can do anything you want, YouTube or Netflix or whatever. So now we'll make the battery pack. Get these batteries in there. Usually I use some hookup wire. That's 30 gauge solid, but then now I have this 30 gauge stranded. So I'm wondering if that would be a better option. I mean, one of these strands is going to be freaking tiny though. Well, actually, it's probably perfect. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think that's closer to the real original. Okay. And so with now the battery is hooked up. Don't like stray pieces of wire dangling. Oh no. Okay. So let's check it. Check. Checkity check. So we'll continuity check that first. And then we'll voltage check from here to here. 5.2 volts. Let's gob some solder in there. Okay. So we'll continuity check that too. All right, now we should have 6 volts from here and here. 5.2. Okay, so each cell is 1.2 volts. So yeah, that's why it's 5 point something. Let's hook it up. Okay. Insulated. Powered on. Get our antenna out of the way. And we're good. All right, so we're running off battery power now. Okay, let's do this. So there's battery power. Now, let's connect a charger. 12. Let's get 12 volts on here and we'll see if it charges. So we've got, I've brought this up to 12 volts now. And let's plug her in. 43 milliamps. That's a good sign. That's the charging amp, so it's charging the battery. Now we're going to power on. 191 milliamp. Before we're at 130, 140. So now it's powering the TV and charging the battery. So it's at 192. Unplug it. We're still running on battery power. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. And now we're charging at 43 milliamps. That'll drop to about 38 when the battery is fully charged. Okay, so we're almost ready to reassemble it. Here is a close-up shot of that link wire. So if there's an overload, that wire just pops and disconnects the battery. So that is one strand of a 30 gauge wire. 30 gauge stranded wire. It's very thin. We need to hook this back up before we button everything up. That's that jack where we have our jumper currently. And we have to put that copper, insulated copper piece back over this after we reinstall that metal can. But it looks pretty good. Well, we might as well get a little Super Mario in while we test the UHF. Oh, I'm doing great so far. Oops. A business card, a game controller, and a AA battery. For size reference. Okay, it's another day, and it's on, looks like it's charged. Usually levels off around 38 milliamps. So, disconnected from the charger.
Against the underdog. Against impossible odds.
Still working good.
That was a huge swing.
All right, so I think we're good for final assembly. Okay, well, if I push down right here, it pops the fuse. So we gotta figure it out. Something's shorting somewhere. Where is it at? Okay, there it is. It's our battery. It's touching. Okay, so we do need to insulate that, but we gotta do something beefier than it's touching the metal can. I'm sure of it. I can't wait to try to get this to fit back on here right again. It's actually down there. Okay, I insulated so the Berg connector, but yeah, it was, gosh, that thing was just carving into there. Jeez, haven't run across that before. The good news is we know this works as a fuse. All right, no more poppage. It's not doing it this way. Oh, God. God, it just freaking popped another fuse. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to just keep digging into this. Okay. I added more insulation.
I swear I just don't understand. What's happening? Well, maybe you better tell us.
I insulated this hole over here and the speaker.
No power, no radio. Nothing except one car. Look, you all know me. We've lived here for 5 years, right in this.
Could this screw be going in there and
Well, sometimes I stay up late at night. And a couple of
touching?
times I come out on my porch and I've seen that Goodman here.
I don't know.
In the wee hours of the morning. Standing in the yard just looking up at the
That's what it is. Look at that. Just popped the fuse again. Wow. Wow. It's this frickin' screw. Crazy. Good grief. What in the world? Oh my gosh. God, how did they design this thing this way? I mean, how did they assemble these things? What is going on here? So that screw is what? God. At least we're finding it. I hope. God, that screw is right over the frickin' battery connector. And what it is the reason why I'm discovering it on this one only is I used a thicker wire. Thinking that would be better. And so this is just sticking up higher than normal. So what is a good way to solve this problem? It's like we need a piece of plastic or something. I'm tempted to just not put a screw in there. Or a nylon screw or something, maybe. Geez, I have some nylon screws here, but they're... I don't know, maybe. Wow. That might work. Wow. That fits. I can't believe it. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Screw that screw. I'm gonna go with that nylon. That's better. As long as it's long enough. A metal screw right over the battery terminal. Encased in a metal enclosure. Yeah. Let's go into mass production. And then on top of that, how about let's put two traces on the PC board that are the battery. And let's put them directly under the screw. That's going to drive in and touch the traces. That way, if the screw on the side doesn't short out and fry it, blow transistors, then hopefully that one will blow it out instead. Perfect. Where else could we make it short out? Just in case those screws don't go in long, aren't tight enough. Don't blow it up. What else can we do? Let's see. We could put, I know, let's make the metal enclosure out of metal too, so that it could short out on the daughter boards. and the bottom of the case, the bottom board. Perfect. Time for the number 20 fuse wire. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and insulate those Berg connectors there too. I mean, gosh, just in case. Why didn't they do this from the beginning? I mean, that's freaking perfect. Okay. Problem solved. Okay, I've got the test pattern up and it's pretty good already. So let me try shifting using I think the height and width are pretty good though. Yeah, there we go. Just needed a minor adjustment. Okay, let's do the Roku menu. Okay, I wonder if the focus is... Might want to adjust the focus. It was already as good as it was going to get. Maybe it's a little better now. But that's pretty good. It's aligned and everything. It looks a lot better in person than through the camera. Okay. So now I'm going to pull the plastic lens back off again. Little suction cup thing. And I'm going to fasten this back on here, and then it won't be too bad. So I just need to, I'll use some Super 73 spray glue. Set that aside for now and do that later. So we can do that at the very end. It's done.
Doctors and associates believe
Okay, here it is. The Sinclair Micro Vision.
one very happy customer. Make Thanksgiving easy and delicious.
MTV-1.
The Twilight Zone.
David Copperfield. How's that?
David Copperfield.
Wonderful boy. This poor little fella, you know, his father has passed away, and his mother's married this miserable man called Murder.
So this is how these buttons work. So, okay, these markers, these are slight markers like where you could mark your favorite stations, I guess. They do nothing. They're just plastic sliders. Log.
Terribly silent.
That's the log row.
I thought there were 5 watts. Suddenly, 4 that
Then we have VHF low, channel 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. VHF 3, 7, 8, 11, 13. UHF 14, 50, and 80, or 29, 30, and 70, depending on whether you're European or USA. And VHF, UHF. So see this, if this is out, it's on 1. So now we're on channel 4 or 3. And the in is channel 7. And it's just a little bit off. It's a little after channel 7 on the needle.
But it was conspired against by a bank president and a wife in a world full of ton cluckers and unrelenting hands of a clock. But in just a moment, Mr. Bemis will enter a world without bank presidents, or wires, or clocks, or anything else. He'll have a world all to
And then you
himself.
do this, and then you're on UHF. And then European. It looks like it changes it to PAL. See, the size changes. Usually it goes out of tune when you do that too, but not right now.
Gotta go back up. Oh, 17,891. 10 means of commas and zeros. +7.
Pretty cool.